Hey everybody, welcome to another Arkham Horror the Card Game list video. Today we're going to cover the top 3 most brutal basic weaknesses.
Bacon weaknesses.
Man,
Delicious.
So a little bit of a statement above. We, looking through, really only our number ones we would classify as a brutal basic weaknesses.
Yeah.
And as I'm going through this, I realized how different the gap is between number 1
and everything
and
else.
then everything else.
Yep.
So let's get with our other ones that we think are probably the most, I guess you could just call it like a nuisance. Top 2 most nuisance. Bryn's number 3 is paranoia, which is a discard all your resources when you draw it.
There's like a green archetype where you want to put a lot of money onto your character card, and this, if you get this one as your random weakness, life's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, I think a big thing is also like with Bryn usually plays green characters, and that resources are very important to a green character.
One might say Bryn's paranoid about losing all his resources.
Yes. This one I was looking between my number 2, but I feel like when we get to my number 2, resources to me aren't as strong as the thing for my basic weakness. But I understand, like, a lot of that's also while going through these basic weaknesses, one thing you should be aware of. Sometimes you get one and you're like, this does nothing. And then sometimes you're like, this cripples my deck. Like, this is something that's actually dangerous for
sometimes
me.
You get, like, Stubborn Detective and you're like, my name is Mark Harrigan.
Yeah.
I will punch you to death.
Because, like, right now I'm playing Patrice, and I have the one that, when you draw it, removes the top card. And I draw through my deck a lot, so it's, like, a little bit more annoying than I would have been if I was just playing some regular character.
Yep.
So that's where I think where these first starting basic weaknesses kind of fall into that niche. Mine, I did the thing that follows. For one reason, as I was going through all these, I was looking at the enemies. Most of the enemies are pretty soft, but this guy shuffles back into your deck, which is essentially could blank a draw later, which to me made it one of those things that for all the enemies, this was the one that had the most effect because it can happen again and again. And that's the annoying part of basic weaknesses most of the time is that when you draw a card, you don't actually get a draw card, instead something bad happens to you. Yeah.
It usually takes 2 or 3 more actions to deal with.
Yes, yeah. Because this guy, his stats are pretty soft, right?
Yeah, he's real easy if you're, like, a combat character.
Also, the flavor of him is pretty nice. The location farthest from you, and then he's just like...
if you're playing Roland, this guy's kind of cute. In your deck as, like, almost something that you might think about including in your own deck.
Yeah, because you can just shoot him all the time.
Yeah.
I can just keep shooting you, and I can kind of pick where you are when I do it.
I do want the moment to happen at one point when Bryn's on one side of the map, Travis is on the other, and he's just getting clues as he does. And then Bryn draws this, and it attacks, latches onto Travis.
Disaster.
Can't it only
That's why I don't...
the bearer?
Yeah, pre-bearer only, so... But other people can engage it, right?
Yeah, I have to voluntarily engage it.
But, like, hey...
Oh, Russ be good. Travis's number 3 is Doomed. So this is a campaign mode only, so if you only play standalone, you are an anomaly, and that's okay. But you take 1 horror in your campaign log, you note that the Doom approaches, then you remove Doom, it becomes a Cursed Fate, which then deals 2 horror and becomes something else. The bell tolls, I think. And then when you draw that last one, you are defeated.
No, you're killed.
You're killed, yes, killed. So even worse than defeated.
Yeah, you have to start your investigator.
This one, have you guys experienced it in any of our videos, or is that the only one with fan?
Yeah, one.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
Like,
No, like this one I think is on here for me because like not as like particularly punishing for it's actually like pretty soft, and I'd be happy to see it a lot of times. And it's a very fun weakness until it happens, and then you're just kind of like, oh.
I'd love to see this in Patrice. You're like, all right.
This is one of the ones where there's none of these that are so strong that I would mulligan them into something else. This one I would consider mulliganing, but like into 2 different random ones because it has to be worse. It can't.
Yeah,
this one isn't so much hard. It's just like not fun sometimes.
Yeah, this one just makes me not want to play the game anymore.
Yeah, I
want to get my guy killed as quickly as I can so I can start working on my second guy.
There is a bit of tense drama fun with it, and then like if you play the Dream Eater cycle, this isn't even a problem.
Yeah, like it depends like where you are in it. Like you go into the last scenario, you've only happened. It also depends who you're playing. Like one thing I do like about this one is it actually makes you think about using Mr. Rook, and by that I mean like you think you're playing a different character or a different unique ally, but like.
And there is also mitigation. Like, I mean, Travis had to, in his last deck, warp his deck to start doing that to control
keeping you from dying.
But yeah, I think it just kind of feels bad, but it's pretty soft when you draw it.
Yeah, no, it's not like hard. It's just like kind of not fun sometimes.
So you actually have to draw it six. You have to draw it five times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you draw your basic weakness in a game?
How many times is possible?
I mean, again, it depends which character you're playing, which is true for a lot of these. But
yeah.
What we got next?
Bryn's number 2 is internal injury. So it goes into playing a threat area. At the end of your turn, you take 1 direct damage. 2 actions, discard it.
Yeah. So when we were going through the basic weaknesses to find tough ones, there aren't really that many that I don't care that I care about having in my deck. This one killed me one time, and I was like, yeah, that was pretty tough.
Well, yeah, Bryn is also, he gets this one a lot. And Travis and I are both aware how notorious he is of just letting it bleed him out.
Yep.
You can't let the game know you're afraid.
I mean, this one and the other one, the psychosis, not psychosis. What's the other one called?
Oh man.
No, it is psychosis.
Hypochondria.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Where you're scrubbing your hands raw? No.
Yeah, no, it is that one. It is that one. No, you're right.
Let's take one more.
That's the one where, yeah.
No, but we're looking for isn't there also one that deals 1 direct
Oh, yeah, it's called Chronophobia.
Chronophobia. Oh, the one about time.
Yeah,
tick-tock, tick-tock.
The blade clock.
Both of these are like one of those things that you get and you're like, I'll just wait a turn. And then suddenly you're like, I have waited too long.
Yeah, like, I can't get rid of this now.
And there's an enemy here, right?
Yeah, I only have 2 turns left to live, and like, this is bad.
It is. I think for someone like Travis, who when he gets it, he's immediately like, gotta patch this up quickly, just do, everything's okay. It's really dependent on what kind of a player you are when you get them as well.
Yeah, like this one definitely eats 2 of your actions or it kills you.
Yeah.
Those are like the 2 possibilities.
So then you gotta weigh, do you want to spend 2 actions or do you want to just...
Or do you just want to
get some trauma?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is choose and discard all but 1 card from your hand, with the note that, once again, this depends on your investigator. You draw this with Patrice and you're like, I don't care. You draw this with someone who has no cards in hand, I don't care. You draw this with a seeker who cares about the 8 cards, it can ruin you.
Yeah.
And what I chose over this one over the resources is because cards are just inherently more valuable than resources, right?
No, they recognize that. This one lets you keep one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that, like, that's my reasoning for this one. And I think just, it can get you in a bad place and you're like, fuck. Didn't you have this in the City of the Archives once?
Probably.
And
and that's why he died one time, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I always die.
I can see that happening.
Because that would just be killer. You're like, all right, I got the 14 allotted cards I need.
Oh,
no.
never mind.
Travis, your number 2 is the 13th Vision. So this goes into play. It investigates your location, fail ties during skill tests, 2 actions to discard it.
Yeah, so the other one I was looking at for this slot was like, what's it called? Haunted. It gives you -1 to each of your skills, and I realized this is like, does. The reason I was considering Haunted...
That, but worse.
Yeah, the reason I was considering Haunted is like how much you have to work to get +1 to all your skills. And like, so -1 to all your skills must be like comparably bad. And then this one does that to you and everybody at your location. So I figured it was pretty bad. I think I might have ever failed 1 test because of it. And all the games we've played.
I think it was 1, yeah.
But it's never particularly bad for me, but like, hey, here we are.
The thing about with this one though, I've noticed at our table there's a few times where like it's kind of a memory issue card.
Yeah.
Where you're like, because you're just so used to like, I did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Haunted is a lot easier to just remember because you're like, I'm a weak baby. I'm a weak little baby with baby arms.
Yeah, I blame the 13
for
this card.
Yeah.
I think it's cool design though, because it is essentially Haunted, but it hurts other people. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And all of our number 1 most brutal basic weakness is overzealous. So, looking through this, this is miles worse than everything else.
I think I would take any 2 of these over this almost every time.
I agree.
Nah.
No?
It's not that bad.
It's just because
it's like way stronger than any of these other cards, but I don't think it's 2 cards worth.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad no matter who you're playing, but I would spin the wheel and bet that I'm going to get 1 weakness that's somewhat relevant to me and another one that's negligible.
Yeah, but like you could also spin the wheel that you're going to see 1 encounter card that is a problem to you and 1 that is not.
Yeah, but the encounter card, especially in like the later campaigns, encounter cards are harsh.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like, if I could draw 1 of these every turn instead of whatever's on top of the encounter deck, I probably would.
Yes. No, 2 cards on the top of the counter deck, right? Like, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, with this one out, it's the end of your turn. You're like, finally, it's time for me to get my card and think of what I can do with it. Okay, I'll draw 2 cards off the bad guy deck, and now I have to draw 1 at the start of the turn, right? So it's like 3 cards. Like,
I think my record on this was like drawing some 14 encounter cards in 1 turn.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
like this card is just...
It sucks.
Most of them did almost nothing, but
Yeah. If you don't believe us, like, just
Play
cheat
with
it.
it.
Yeah, cheat into your decks. It sucks.
yeah. Just...
yeah.
Like, I don't really know what else there is to say about it other than it's soul crushing when you draw it because you're like, well, like, because Bryn drew it at that part and things got.
Oh, yeah, that only sucked because one of the cards was Ancient Evils, but
Uh-huh.
that was a whole separate issue.
So yeah,
Only sucked that badly
Yeah.
because one of the cards was Ancient.
So yeah, I mean, realistically, in this video, we could also add like our easiest weakness,
Yeah.
which to me is the one right there.
It's indebted. Yeah.
Indebted. Indebted is the softest.
Indebted's pretty soft. Most of the enemies are pretty soft.
Yeah, but not if you don't kill enemies.
unless
Good.
You're like Justin, I guess.
Dark Pact is a good time.
Yeah, Dark Pact's pretty.
Dark Pact is pretty
A
simple.
lot of the multiplayer ones are also pretty simple too.
These
It depends.
multiplayer only
Oh yeah,
ones.
Kleptomancy is a joke.
Kleptomania is
Comedic
like
joke.
actually an upside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually not a weakness.
Yeah.
I think like narcolepsy, if you have like 4 people, for example, in your game, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think Mob Enforcer might be one of my easiest ones because you
Yeah.
can just pay him off. He's like, I'll beat your legs unless you give me money, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
go away though.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing I like about Indebted is that it's there and you're not ever going to be surprised by it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
It never eats your draw.
Yeah. Like if you're like a Guardian or like a Mystic, it slows you down slightly at the beginning, right? But like not enough for you to like...
You can like actually mitigate that.
I really like Through the Gates. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a surprise bag.
But
You're
most
like,
of the time, it's just useless.
yeah. So that one also, I'd say, is pretty soft. Like,
Yeah,
right
like-
now with Patrice, I'm noticing it. I don't like it.
Because you're drawing out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost put the Unspeakable Oaths from Return to Carcosa on my list because I thought that like one of the enjoyable parts of the game playing campaign mode is upgrading your deck and getting less experience is not fun, but like this card is just like if you don't care about experience because it's the last 2 scenarios of the campaign or whatever.
Or you're playing a red character.
Yeah, or whatever. They just don't do anything, and like there's a 1-3 chance. Like there's also like these ones are like the highest variance I think
Yeah.
out of all of them because like you get the one that have to deal excess damage. You're playing a Guardian, like who cares?
Yeah.
You get the one that's to investigate. You're playing a Seeker, like whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
But if you're like the fighter who gets the one where you have to find, you have to
You have to
investigate,
evade. You're like Leo Henderson or something. You're like.
yeah.
Hey, bud.
But yeah, I think the overall, I'd say the power level of the basic weaknesses is probably right where it needs to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're doing a good job designing.
Nice try.
Yeah. Yeah, the multiplayer ones are really cool. I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kleptomania is like really easy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Narcolepsy could be
That's
brutal in a
okay.
2-player game.
That's
You're
okay.
like,
yeah.
You have
Just,
to
like,
come all the way
honestly,
over here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me. About
Especially if like it's the Seeker that falls, like the clue dude that falls asleep, and then you're like, there have no enemies, but I'm surrounded by enemies. And the guy's like, it's okay, I'll just sleep forever, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just not have a turn.
Like turns, it could go on forever too, right?
Mhm.
Like, it only goes away if you take damage or horror or someone wakes you up.
Yeah.
Flavor of it's on is great though. Why would you fall asleep at this time? We're on the dark side of the
Self-centered
moon.
is pretty soft.
Yeah, this one's dirt. Wow.
Yeah, like
it
that
sucks if
only
you're
affects
playing,
like people
Minty
like
Fawn
Min or
something
even like
that. Or even Silas.
yeah. Oh yeah, those are the two
Mhm.
that
Like,
I think this is a lot about the basic weakness pool that we all agreed on over Zealous. And then we're going through picking out the softest one and they're like, wow, this one's also garbage.
yeah. Overzealous is just
Yeah.
it's just
there's
above
a lot
the
of,
rest.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
them that can just kill you if you see them at the wrong spot. But
yes. But like overzealous is like more often than not just consistently.
Overzealous is always at the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Especially in the middle of your
sometimes doesn't
turn, and
kill
you're
you.
like, all right, thanks.
Your last action, you draw 2 monsters, you're like,
Oh. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, send out the suggestions. We have a bunch. This was a suggestion from someone in one of our last videos that commented, so thank you for that. I hope you agree, because it's...
If you don't, you're wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any other suggestions for videos, let us know in the comments below. What's your least favorite weakness, and why is it overzealous? Bye.